Did you know that burnout is on the rise with young millennials, the next generation, Gen Zs, and women? This actually was published in CNBC this year in March 2023. The rise has increased exceptionally globally, and that is concerning. Why am I talking about burnout? Because in 2013, things changed for me. I was 27 years old. I suffered a burnout experience without knowing what a burnout was. I was exhausted, I was stressed, I was working 24/7. I couldn't get out of bed for months because I was tired, and I just didn't want to continue anymore. I had a global manufacturing consultancy which required me to be on 24/7 globally all around the world. After suffering this burnout experience of exhaustion, I was unhappy. It affected my mental health, my physical health. I decided I didn't want to do this anymore, and I questioned myself, is this what life is? Working 24/7? So I decided things needed to change. I needed to put my health first and be happy and make life meaningful. So today, over 10 years later, I talk about my journey of surviving burnout. Why do I do this? Because no one tells us how to live life. Life's a journey, right? No one tells you how to run a business. No one tells you how to be an entrepreneur. When you're at school, no one tells you how to jump on the property ladder. We have to learn this all of ourselves. And no one shared the tools with me when I was younger. And having gone through this whole experience, I want to share this back with the young next generation, with everybody, because we can avoid this with tools that we used, or I've used, that I would like to share with you. So, my name is Golhar. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. As a young businesswoman, I started my first business at 22 years old. By default, it was a global manufacturing consultancy where we stocked in blue chips such as Harrods and Burberry. You see, I graduated from Central St. Martin's, which was one of the top art schools in the world. I worked with designers such as Alexander McQueen, J.W. Anderson on his first autumn-winter collection at the Man Show. I was the first youngest British Asian female to do a collaboration with ASOS, which was the biggest online retailer at the time. I was featured in Vogue, Drapers, The Times, The Telegraph, etc. I was headhunted to build the Burberry children's brand. I was also one of the first manufacturers to stock over 1 million units during the Christmas jumper boom for the first Christmas jumpers about 15 years ago. And this was all pretty much by the age of 25 years old. Now you can kind of see why I had this burnout, because I was on 24 hours and I was on fire, and there was no stop button. My focus was just work, 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 work. I was in my 20s. I was chasing the paper because I thought success was chasing the money. Actually, success is our wealth and our health and well-being, which then accumulates to financial wealth. But actually, it's not about that. It's about working smart. Success is about working smart, not 24/7. And that is what I learned. And I can truthfully say I achieved everything by 25, but there were a lot of sacrifices that I made at that age. And, you know, my life happened to me young. Even though it was by default, I continued to choose that life. I had no boundaries. I had no balance. You see, my focus was work, work, work. And I forgot about the other areas and aspects of my life. So when you're not in a balanced situation and you're just focusing on one thing, you neglect and you sacrifice the other things in your life. Was I happy? No. Now, over 10 years later, I'm fully conscious and fully aware from the journey that I had And I am balanced, and I make sure I'm balanced in all aspects of my life, because that is important. That is what makes us happy. So after my burnout journey, I continued life. So I'm a qualified PR practitioner with the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. I worked in some of the most high-profile media projects, such as the former Olympic Stadium, Crossrail, Providence Tower, etc. in the UK. I trained and qualified in human behaviour, psychometrics, business clarity coaching, because I wanted to learn more and just add more knowledge to my power and my experience that I already had. Also, the human brain really fascinated me. So when I was in my 20s and I had the business, I had challenges with some of my clients at the time. And I used to be like, why are they behaving this way? And why are they constantly calling me? And, why is there a challenge here? And, the human brain, for me, it fascinated me. I wanted to know why people did certain things. And that's why I got into human behavior. And I will talk about psychometrics in the next few slides. I then nearly 10 years ago, it hasn't been over 10 years yet, but founded a creative PR and media agency which builds brands, profiles and experts, and basically putting diversity and inclusion in the forefront of media. We have impacted probably way over 8 million plus individuals through the media, which I'm truly grateful to have done with my team. So today, as a woman of colour, in my late 30s, life is a journey, and I want to share that the road is never going to be straight. There are going to be bumps and curves and whatever in life, because that is life, but these are our experiences to learn from. My experiences, I've had nearly 20 years of this, and it's my time now and my mission to be able to share these experiences and talk back with everybody, because burnout is on the rise. If we can learn some tools to avoid burnout, that's what is important. And today I share my experiences through guest lecturing and teaching others, etc. I've been fortunate enough to have featured globally in the media, on TV, on radio, my expert views in publications, and obviously today in a TEDx talk, so thank you. But you probably look at my life and thinking, okay, but she's still doing all this stuff, like how does she manage all of this? And what is my secret? My secret is to learn yourself. When we know who we are, the good, the ugly, the bad, everything, that's your superpower. And that's again what psychometrics is, and I'll go back into that in a second. So psychometrics is a little bit like personality types, and it's a thing called DISC. And it was basically started by a man called William Moulton Marston. He's a psychological psychologist from Harvard, and he spoke about emotions of normal people. DISC. Now I want to touch on this, and I really advise to think about this and think about, actually, hang on, which one applies to me, or who do I know that has these traits? And actually, so we have the D for the dominant individual, my way or the highway, results driven, the go-getter, am I winning? You got the I, the influencer, the people-orientated individual, very friendly, always in bright colors, very bubbly, the great salesperson. And then you've got the C, the compliant individual, the very analytical individual. They need strategy, they need detail. If you don't give them detail, they will be mad as hell. Then you've got the S, the stability, energy, the person that holds the glue together, the person that's going to support you. They basically put water in your glass before they fill theirs up. So actually, we're all four of these, but we have a hierarchy of this internally. And when we understand who we are, we can actually focus on our traits of what we are. And actually, what we need to do is then adapt our internal to our outer. Because when we adapt to our internal to our outer, we're a lot more happier. Now, let's say we're not, this basically comes into the jobs that we do. So someone who is a very high compliance C, you're not going to put them in a sales job because they're not a people-orientated individual, depending actually on their second psychometric. But this changes a lot, and I wish they taught this to us in school because it would really, really help us. So, once you learn who you are, You learn and you understand and you change things, and it makes you happier. Everyone's meditation is different. Some people decide, hey, you know what, my meditation is my run in the morning. My meditation is the gym. For me, my meditation is waking up and, my prayers or my normal meditation. That's what sets me up in my day. So think about what sets you up in your day. I'm a huge advocate of making sure that everybody takes that 1 hour to themselves in a day. I know people are busy. I know people are parents. I know people have work, but just giving yourself 1 hour a day to charge up on the things that make you happy, whether that's going out and socializing or talking to your friends or just taking that time away from things, that is so important, because that's giving yourself you time back. The next thing that I want to share with you is one of the tools that I use, that I always share with people. In my 20s, I didn't process all the things that were happening in my life at the time. I mean, I process it now. Years later, I'm like, wow, okay, cool, I achieved that. But when you're in it, you don't achieve things. You don't process things. So the difference today is that, how do I process my day? How do I process the achievements that I've had in my day, in my week? Go back to old school pen and paper. At the end of your day, write down a list of 10. Write down every single small thing that you have been grateful for in your day. That allows you to process the small things that have happened in your day and the things that you're grateful for. And that allows you to process things. Actually, okay, that happened. Thank you. So, let's go back to old school. Even if you're journaling, by writing notes on our phone, it's not the same effect. Psychologically, writing things down on pen and paper, it just works. Distractions. How many of us have distractions in our life? From our phone, from our WhatsApps going off, from our phone calls going off, our emails, our social media, our Instagram or whatever. Every single one of us. Isn't that a distraction when you're working? Yeah. So about 8 years ago, I turned every single notification off. And I downloaded WhatsApp Business. WhatsApp Business has this amazing bot, basically, that you can put an away message on with anyone that sends you a message. And my message was, I'm currently unavailable. I'm either in a session or a meeting. If it's urgent, please text me, otherwise I'll come back to you when I can. People just said laugh at me. I'm like, oh my God, why do you have that? I can never get hold of you. I'm like, was it urgent? No. So I'm gonna distract my day where I may have meetings or a structured day with sessions with clients, and so I'm gonna actually in my session be messaging you back. No, this is what allows you to stay focused, especially when you're studying or if you're working or you're on a deadline. Turn those notifications up. Don't let your phone control you. You control the time that you go into your phone and check your social media or check your emails. It's not going to go anywhere. If it's urgent, someone will text you. You can't turn the notifications off on that, I don't think. But my learnings is that you don't need to work 24/7, but you need to work smart. Take time to step back if you need to step back. The journey as a business person or an entrepreneur is a journey. It's not a straight road. Understand that. And, life is not about, oh my God, life is about being positive every single day. Because you know what? We are going to have challenges in our day. And the way we need to deal with it is to have the correct mindset, to actually look at it like, actually, you know what? If there's a challenge, how am I going to deal with the solution? Right, what have I learned from this? What is my learning? And how am I going to do better? Because this is going to grow us for the next time. You don't have to work with everyone. And I learned that from a very young age. Some people are people drainers and, people think, oh no, but I need to take on that business. No, you don't. You choose who you work with, who are going to align with you. Have boundaries. Don't just let everyone into your life and have boundaries for yourself before you give boundaries to others. Build a team, the right team. Work with mentors that have been there and done it. Learn yourself, learn your balance, and do everything with a good heart, a clean heart, and good intention. Look after your mental health and your well-being, because your health is your wealth and your happiness. Make sure your cup does not go empty. When we are not 100% charged up, our batteries are going to go low and we can't perform to that 100%. Have clarity and direction of where you are going. And I want to leave you with a few of my wise words. So, always stick to your truth because you can't go wrong there. And only you know what feels right. Your gut will always tell you what feels right and wrong. And don't get lost in the chaos of life and other people's lives. So thank you for listening to my journey on success, sacrifice, and balance. Thank you.